Welcome back, designers, to Kat Silvia Designs. I'm Kat, and today I want to talk to you about color. Now, I've heard a lot of designers say that they're not good at color, that they have trouble picking it, they don't trust themselves, and I want to fix that. So I'm here today to show you my 3-step technique to choosing the perfect color trio. Now, it does involve some trial and error, but I want you to see kind of what happens when I start playing around. My goal for this video is that you will walk away feeling more confident when it comes to choosing colors. So, without further ado, take a look. If this jumble of colors already has you freaking out, please stick with me here. So I've brought out, and I just kind of poured out a bunch of my seed beads that I have. So I have all kinds of different colors. I have some yellows and greens and blues and turquoise and some gold and some kind of cream colors there. So this is kind of what I'm going to be working with here. So the very first thing is, let me get all of this out of the way. Let's clear the air here. Let's start with a clean, fresh slate. Okay, now here we go. For this 3-step technique, we are going to start with a metal. Now, I'm going to start here with a gold. Now, this is going to be the color metal that the other findings in my piece are going to be. So let's say if I'm creating a peyote or a loom bracelet and I'm going to have a clasp, and that clasp is going to be gold. Well, let's have gold in the beading there. So I have gold. Now let's add a neutral color. Now your neutral can be your whites, your creams, sometimes your browns, and even like your bronzes there. So today I'm going to do a white. Let's make it really nice and simple. Now that actually makes a very fine duo, a gold and a white, a very classic combination. But let's add a pop of color, okay? Let's add, now this is gonna be a little crazy, but let's add a green, a really bright green. Now this is a really bright kind of like grassy green, which I think actually looks kind of cool. But so we have a bright color, we have our neutral, and then we have our gold. Now let's say we wanted to swap out that color. We're not feeling green, it just doesn't go with, we now look at it and we're like, not quite what I wanted. But before we swap out the color, I challenge you to possibly swap out the metal. So let's pull out that gold there. And let's put in silver. Now that actually looks a little bit better. I like this metal with it as opposed to the gold. So let me show you one more time. So this is the gold. Now it doesn't look bad, but we swap it out for the silver. And you kind of know right away whether or not it looks great, right? You can kind of see and you go, oh yeah, I could see that working together. Now, this also works if you're not doing a bead weaving design. I'm just kind of talking a little bit about the bead weaving design because I want you to realize that even though you'll have 3 colors, oftentimes you're not using them equally. Sometimes you're using the color as a pop or even the metal as a pop. So you might not have as much silver in your design as you would these other 2 colors. So you really want to make sure that this works well, that this works well, and that this works well, okay? So let's try another little option here. So I'm gonna take out that silver again, put in that gold, and we kind of agree that this was fine, not crazy, but let's give it another try. So let's take out the bright green here, and I'm actually just gonna set him aside, and let's bring in a darker green. Now, I already like this much better. Now, this is a little bit of a darker shade, and you can see that it kind of warms up the whole look. With this being so bright, it really looked good with the silver because there was a certain brightness to it. But with this one, this looks really nice and warm. And if I do say so myself, it doesn't look too Christmassy. I know some people might be thinking that, and then you're like, oh yeah, just add the red. Well, there you go, now it's Christmas. But I'm gonna go ahead and take that out, and let's start again. Let's start fresh. Okay, let's take, and we're gonna start with a nice silver. Now this is a nice, real shiny silver, okay? I think for my neutral on this one, you know what, let's stick with the white. I think that was working. And I think silver and white is a good spot to start. So I have my metal, I have my neutral. Now let's try to add a different kind of color. let's add in a lovely turquoise. Now it's a beautiful turquoise blue, and I think, again, you'll see that depending on how much you use in each design, you'll be able to use this lovely turquoise teal kind of color as that beautiful pop. Now, let's swap out the teal, and let's just kind of see how many combos I can make work with these first two. All right, so I have purple. I think that looks great. I like that one. I have a blue. Again, I think that looks really fantastic. I would also argue that I think that looks good with gold. So again, just kind of swapping that out. All right, let's try it with a darker. So this is more of like a navy, right? Now, I think that looks good. Swapping out that color, I think that looks good. Now let's do something about that white. We've used the white a lot. So let's see, what do I have on my table here that I think could work? Oh, I got it. Now, you see how nice and bright that is? By swapping out the white and putting in a cream, it warms the whole thing up a little bit, okay? So now let's see if we can swap out and do something with these two guys here. Let's see. Oh, this is where we could also add a different kind of green, right? I think that works nicely. We could do a lovely little like salmon pink. See how nice and warm that is? Now here's the other thing that I think is kind of cool. So when it comes to using that particular neutral, using that cream colored neutral, if you take out that gold, and let's say your findings are more antique brass, well, you could bring in a brown, a color that I think a lot of people don't want to use for whatever reason, because it's brown, maybe it's just not your color, but look how cute that looks together, right? Now let's take out the pink. Let's say you're not a pink person, you don't like pink, but look at this. What a great, perfect fall combination. So we have this beautiful kind of pumpkin color, we have a cream, and then we have a bronze. So guys, it's really easy to sort of make these metallic neutral color combinations, right? All right, let's start again here. Now, another thing I want to talk about is gunmetal. A lot of people don't like to use gunmetal. I don't know why. I think it looks great. I actually think it looks really fantastic with like a rose gold. Definitely a combination that I encourage you to try. Gunmetal and rose gold, very, very popular. All right, now don't forget, one of your other neutrals that you can use is black, okay? Now we can add in a color to this to kind of see how it looks. So let's, again, go for a color that a lot of people might not love, but let's do a yellow, right? I'm actually gonna set him right in the center there so you can see. Okay, kind of cool, right? Getting inspired? I hope so. All right, so let's take out that yellow and let's add in, I'm trying to see if I have something on my table that I don't think will work. I actually think this might work. All right, let's swap that in. So we have like a purple. Now this is kind of a bluey purple. Again, it's very, very dark in there. So what you could do is you could swap out the black for that neutral, right? So bring in a different neutral, bring in that white, and that way you can create separation between these. Now I know some of you are going to want to use more than 3 colors, so if that's you, leave a comment below and let me know, and I can do an entire video on how to put together 4 colors, because there's a little bit of a different theory when it comes to that. But for now, I really love this. I think there's a lot of fun to be had. You can kind of keep switching out your metals and just sort of see how things work and see how things play together. So there you go. I really want you to have fun choosing color, and I hope this empowers you to give some of these combinations a shot. Pull out your bead stash and really just dump it all out and see what you can put together. You might surprise yourself what you can come up with using this little technique here. Thank you so much for watching, designers. I'm so glad you're here to share this space with me, and I really hope this video gives you a little bit more confidence moving forward when it comes to choosing colors. As always, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.